I take my rightful place at the head of the table. Believe that.
Welcome to the Yeah We Know podcast, part of the Morgano's Podcasting Network. You're in the ring with Jimmy, Rod, and Chris. Old man Chris, we need an old man take from you, bud. What do you got for me today?
Oh, an old man take is that I really miss some of the old school bits where you saw wrestling in a grocery store or wrestling out on the street. Like, I really miss those types of matches. I haven't seen them. I know we've only been back a little while, but that's what I want to see more of.
So you really like the old school, like Steve Austin, Booker T in a bar, the acolytes in there destroying people. Steve Austin, Booker T did fight in a grocery store, I believe, at one time.
It's one of my favorite matches.
You're more of the
that was a fantastic match.
You're more of the pre-tape, and maybe an AJ Styles Undertaker in a graveyard match.
Yeah. Just something a little bit different than always in a ring where someone's going to interfere and ruin the match. Like, I want something a little bit more of a new flavor, and it's been so long that some of that old stuff is going to feel like new again.
Rod, you're here as well. What are you hot about tonight?
Well, Jimmy, I had a whole thing I was going to do about the GOAT, Paul Heyman's appearance on First Take, and then news broke that really did actually get me hot under the collar. We cannot keep Vince McMahon out of our lives. We cannot keep him from getting in trouble out of our lives and messing with the WWE. News has recently come out that he was served a federal search warrant and indictments on July 23rd of this year. Vince had back surgery, but yet somehow Jimmy, I'm just so hot about how entangled with Vince McMahon we still are after you and I came on and had what we thought was a bit of a landmark podcast when Vince was out. And then when the WWE was sold, and then now we're just right back to where we've always been, and I'm just awfully hot about it, Jim.
1 year ago, around this time, Vince McMahon was done with the WWE. He retired. And after 1 year of 6 or 7 fantastic months of wrestling, and then some is not as good, he is now gone again for a little while because, he can't stand up. Now, I'm sure he's still working because it's Vince McMahon. But I will tell you this, Rod. The federal government, a vast array of accusers, the SEC, no one, not even spinal surgery, can stop Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
It certainly does seem that way, doesn't it, man? Goodness gracious. This guy's calling matches, changing things right before they book, and he had all this stuff bubbling up because he knew the indictment was coming down. Rich guy like Vince, his lawyers knew it was coming down. So he's known about all this. And like you said, nothing stops Vince from making sure that we got heat.
You got to love it. Something else that I have a question about. I have never seen Chris King without a hat on. Didn't know he was bald. Not going to lie. Not going to lie at all. Yeah, he just took his hat off in our little stream, a little behind the scenes here at the Yeah We Know podcast, part of the Morgano's Podcast Network. Chris King.
Yeah, there's a reason why they call me Old Man Chris.
You look actually a lot older without the hat. Oh, he doesn't? He looks younger without the hat on. All right, so we have a lot to talk about here. We had Vince McMahon. We kind of went over that. Don't know too much more about the indictment, perhaps, that might be coming up. We've heard of that word a lot in the news lately. But
indictment, schmightment, doesn't matter.
That's 84, 85, whatever. WWE Financial Call came out earlier this week as you're listening to this, and they're doing very well. They've made more money, and they're up every place. And a lot of that has to do with the storytelling for Triple H and the WWE. This Roman Reigns Bloodline storyline has been amazing for television. They're doing a very good job overall, Chris King, and pretty good timing because their rights deals are coming up soon.
Yeah, I mean, if they want to get the most out they can with their TV deals, this is the perfect time for them to peak. But you're right, too. There's some great storylines. The Bloodline storyline, it was moving a little bit too slow for me for a little bit, but the way they've been able to work it out has been fantastic. And who would have thought, and we're going to say it again, that Dom would be such a big heel and so over that he is able to get a belt from another brand in the WWE and still get just this amount of, like, he's still not allowed to talk. It is just fabulous.
It is fabulous there. Rod, let's go to your boy. I did want to mention this as well. So SummerSlam is coming up this weekend, and Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns were doing the ESPN car wash. Paul Heyman had some interesting things to say in character, did he not, sir?
Yeah, he most definitely did, man. Paul Heyman brought it to First Take with Stephen A. Smith, completely kayfabe, 100% in character. I think Roman was leaning more kayfabe than anything else, but he was also trying to seem a bit more like a regular person who would sit on First Take, but Paul Heyman was having none of it. They were doing top 5 football teams to look forward to this year and having Roman do analysis on it, and Heyman just had this look on his face of absolute disgust. And then finally somebody threw to him, and he just proceeded to eviscerate Stephen A. Smith, eviscerate Marcus Spears, say, why are we not talking about SummerSlam, Detroit, Peacock, right? He boom, 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 got it off like a pro. Just absolute wonderful stuff out of Paul Heyman. If you haven't seeked out Heyman and Reigns on First Take, check it out. Stephen A. Smith, a little fanboy. He's a huge wrestling fan.
He even had both belts on his shoulders too, right?
Of course he did. But Stephen A. Smith, brought out Bobby Heenan as the GOAT. And Paul Heyman with a straight face. I can't believe Roman Reigns didn't fall off his chair when Heyman said, he's dead, it doesn't matter. Like, whoa! That true. Not a falsity, but kind of came out of nowhere there. So, again, Paul Heyman being the best that he is.
And we shout out like our Brett McNeil, right? Our former podcast host on this very feed. He was a big Jimmy Hart guy, and Paul Heyman made sure to take a shot at Jimmy Hart as well, saying that clearly God doesn't answer his prayers because Jimmy Hart is still alive. Hey-o! Keep going, Paul.
SummerSlam has gotten some card changes here recently. Becky Lynch, Trish Stratus off the SummerSlam card. They're going to wrestle in Canada in a couple of weeks. I'm thinking this is because Trish Stratus's nose is not fully healed yet. It was bleeding this past Monday, I believe, as well. In the place of it, though, is a battle royal with no participants as of yet. But we do have to pick a winner, gentlemen. And we're going to the Battle Royal first for our SummerSlam predictions. I'm going to give you a second to think about it. But I got 3 things to say. Well, maybe 4. L.A. Knight. Yeah! It's got to win the opening match of SummerSlam, the Battle Royal.
Is he going to get, is there some sort of, are we, like we have the Andre the Giant? Can this be like the Big John Studd? Can this be like the Big John Studd Memorial SummerSlam Battle Royal? Can this be like, what's the Giant Kamala? The Giant, what is
Kamala?
It? The Giant Kamala? Yeah, can it be the Kamala? And who are the other, like Tugboat? Can this be the Tugboat Memorial Battle Royal at SummerSlam?
I kind of like the Ugandan Giant Kamala Memorial Battle Royal. It just kind of rolls off the tongue on that one. They just want to get as many people on the card as possible. I think
of course they do, and it's ridiculous. We have Sheamus in this. We can't do something better with Sheamus, who's the most over he's been his entire career right now. We can't do something with L.A. Knight, who's more over than even Chris's precious Dominic Mysterio, but yet somebody continues to hold him down. If he walks out of SummerSlam with the stupid Battle Royal win, I'll make fun of it just as much as I made fun of Bobby Lashley winning the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Figure something out better with these two guys that have a bunch of heat. Damn it, Vince.
That being said, Rod, pick a winner for the Battle Royal.
I'm going to take Chad Gable.
Okay.
Do we know who is all in the Battle Royale, to be honest? Like, I thought...
No, until they're in there.
Are you going to sit here and tell me that the most game for anything guys, Alpha Academy, are not going to be in this Battle Royal? Please, give me Chad Gable.
No, that's a legit pick right there. I really want to pick LA Knight. I know he's the one guy that they did announce for it. Tends to be that's where they're going to lean to because they got to have him win something. So give me LA Knight.
Okay. Just so you know, there is no chance LA Knight's winning this Battle Royal. But
of course there's not. They won't let him do anything. They barely even let him talk. They just say, here's what you're going to do. Walk to the ring, and you better walk a little slow so you can get in all your things. But hey, while you're trying to walk and talk, you might lose your breath a little bit, and then it's going to lose its effectiveness because we don't respect you, LA Knight. It's ridiculous.
Ricochet versus Logan Paul in the most viral match ever. They're going to do something crazy. It'll be fun, but I think Ricochet is going to come out on top on this one. I just like Ricochet. I think that he needs this win. You could convince me on Logan Paul, but I think Ricochet needs this one a little bit more than Logan Paul. Chris King.
I'm going to go Logan Paul here. He hasn't won any of his matches as of late. There's nothing riding on this match at all. You need to still build him up as a heel, so he has to do something dirty. He's going to come out on top.
Rod Morgan, who you got?
I'm with Bald Bull on this one. I think Logan Paul is absolutely going to win this because Ricochet is another guy who has just consistently never gotten any respect. So the respect he's going to get is he's going to be allowed to wrestle for 15 minutes at SummerSlam, and then Logan Paul is going to get over on him.
Say what you will about Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. Those video packages were pretty cool over the on the show the other night, and I just think that. I think Rousey's going to go away, and I think Baszler's going to end up getting the win on this one. It's going to kind of maybe put her word a little higher than she wants to be. Rod, Baszler was Rhea Ripley in NXT. Exactly the same. You just destroyed everybody. And ever since coming up to the main roster, she has not been that. Maybe this is a chance to get her back in there. I know you're not buying it, but I think Shayna Baszler wins this one, Rod.
Jimmy, what word do I talk about all the time when I talk about WWE superstars? What word do I always talk about, Jimmy?
I mean, there's charisma. There's,
Correct. So in no planet or universe or solar system is Rhea Ripley and Shayna Baszler any way, shape, or form the same. I get what you're trying to say. Yeah. I get what you're trying to say, but charisma is the secret sauce of all of it, and Baszler has zero. Absolutely zero. The only way you could get me to care about this match is if one of these people that lose would be gone from WWE forever and I never have to see them ever again.
Okay, so Chris, I don't think this is Rod's number one match of the show. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, it's funny that Rod says that. Isn't Rousey's contract negotiations going on right now? She may not re-sign with the WWE, right? I think Shayna Baszler gets over on this. I do agree with Rod. She doesn't have any charisma. I don't agree with you, Jimmy. I fell asleep during one of those video packages. I couldn't tell you which one.
It was after 6 p.m. Easy.
I watched it on DVR before 6 p.m. Thank you very much. Anyways, she doesn't have any charisma. If anybody is in need of a manager to further their career in the WWE, it would be Shayna Baszler. She could use a good mouthpiece for her, and then she can just go out and beat people up. But until then, I'm not going to care too much. But still, give me Baszler.
All right, Rod, who'd you have in this matchup? I know you don't care.
My pick is Paul White, again, burst through the middle of the ring, creating a crevice that both of them fall into, and we don't have to watch the match end.
Paul White, an AEW contracted wrestler, going to come in. Give me a second. I got to write this down. Going to come in, crevice in the earth. Okay. Next matchup is
Cody Rhodes. All right. I didn't know about the AEW part. Maybe it's Omos, right? We haven't seen him in a couple of weeks. I got to give him something to do. Maybe it's Omos.
Paul White or Omos out of the ring. All right. Cody Rhodes, Brock Lesnar in the biggest stipulation match of them all, a one-on-one regular matchup. Chris King, who you got?
I think you got to give it to Cody, right? He has to get over on Brock to move on to something else, and then Brock can be the baddie to somebody else then. I mean, that's the way it's got to go, so give me Cody.
Rod, do you think Lesnar has a chance of winning it all here?
Yes, I do, and I'm picking Brock Lesnar because not only am I trying to bring charisma and bring some entertainment value to this podcast, but I am determined to just skyrocket to the bottom in our picks challenge here. So I'm on the other side of you guys on every match.
You got to go with it when you can. I think Cody Rhodes gets the win here and then is catapulted up into the next. But
next to where, Jimmy? To where? To where? To what end? To what end? All right, because fine.
Yeah,
that's my thing. I still don't know ultimately what this whole Lesnar thing gained him, other than okay, we had a distraction, we had a bit of a delay before Cody finally gets the belt. I get all of that in the business sense, but I don't really know how anybody was ultimately served from this. And so that's why, you know what, just let Brock Lesnar continue to win because he is just the sainted, always gets basically whatever he wants and can write his own ticket in the WWE. So give me Lesnar.
Well, I think we need to see what happens after this match to see where it goes. So let's be fair. Let's see what happens after this, where he goes from there. But I think that Rhodes will get the win on this one. Chris King, Drew McIntyre, your boy, against Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. This is going to be an awesome matchup.
Yeah, we're going to see, 20 to 25 minutes probably in this match, I hope. This should be
13 to 15.
This should be fantastic. I did like how we've started to see some chinks maybe in Gunther's armor. We saw Rod's boy Chad Gable last longer than 5 minutes, and give Gunther a little bit of a run for his money. Boy, nothing would make me happier if Drew McIntyre wins. I don't think I can pick him, though. I think I'm going to stick with Gunther.
Yeah, I think that Gunther is going to continue to move on here. But Rod, what do you do with Drew McIntyre, though? I mean, I'm assuming you're going to pick Gunther as well, or do you just want to go opposite of everything for the hell of it?
Well, here's the first thing you do to Drew McIntyre. You walk up to him backstage when SummerSlam Day begins, and you say, Drew, I'm real happy that you've had a bunch of weeks off from matches because we are going to open your chest up like cottage cheese in this match, my friend. All right, so absolutely get prepared for a bunch of chops. You are going to be red, maybe even bloody by the end of this, and you will continue to be a loved baby face, which is a hard place for someone to be in 2023, but you will not be the Intercontinental Champion. Give me the ring general, Gunther.
Man, I love that. I love that act. That's such a good act. Gunther. Rod, in a match that is near and dear to your heart, we have a 3-way for the Women's Championship. We have Asuka, Bianca Belair, and Charlotte Flair. Is your girl going to get yet another championship?
No, Asuka is going to win, and then Io Sky is going to cash in the belt, and she leaves SummerSlam champion.
Wow. Okay. So Asuka with the win, but Io. Okay.
I remembered it was Io this time, and I didn't say Bailey. Are you proud of me?
I'm very, very, very proud of you for that. The Landry Fields from another podcast we still have to chat about, but other than that,
that's a tough one. I'll be wearing that one for a while when I go to sleep, Jimmy.
That happens to the best of us. Speaking of people who forget a lot of things, Chris King, we have Asuka, Bianca Belair, and Charlotte Flair. Who's going to win this one?
I really like Rod's take on Io Sky cashing in the Money in the Bank. We know that every time a woman has done or cashed in her Money in the Bank contract, she's won the belt. I don't think that Asuka is going to win the match first, though. I think Charlotte's going to win that match to become the 15th and then get pinned by Io Sky.
Rod almost fell out of his chair. He does not want that to happen because that just means that she can win it again very soon, right, Rod?
I don't want 15 to come in this match because I'm worried about Io, right? I don't want Charlotte to win this and all of a sudden she just gets cashed. I still have a real bad taste in my mouth from when Charlotte's just walking down the aisle minding her own business and Nikki, almost a superhero, comes out of nowhere and cashes in on her. I mean, I'm just never going to be able to forget that.
I think that Asuka is going to win and Asuka is going to walk out still the champion. Io Sky will not cash in her championship opportunity.
Really? Okay, Jimmy, you've got something up your sleeve then. Where do you think she's going to cash it in? Because you know that the woman, I don't know how to say it properly here, but they never hold on to it for as long as the guy.
Usually they do a Survivor Series. Well, no, last year they did the War Games. I was thinking maybe Survivor Series if they do champion versus champion, which they still might, because it's the only time that the brands intermix is Survivor Series. The draft lasted a day this year. That was great, but yeah, I don't have anything. I just don't feel like I don't know if this is the right night for it.
No, you're probably right that they'd like other things to be the story, right? And whoever cashes in will be a bit of the story coming out of it. But I still like my Io pick.
All right, we have Rollins. We have Finn Balor. I'm going to go with Finn Balor, and I'm not going to have Priest cash in. I'm going to have the threat of Priest cashing in take us all the way until when he does cash in at Survivor Series in the rematch between Rollins and Finn Balor, because you can only have these guys wrestle all the time. But I have Finn Balor winning this one, Chris King.
I'm torn. I don't know if they would be brazen enough to have both Money in the Banks cashed in this premium live event. I think they're going to do it with the women because I don't think that they want her to keep holding on to that case. The longer they hold on to it, the less it means, really, in my mind. So I'm kind of going with you. I think Finn Balor is going to get over on Rollins finally. I think that there is a threat of Damian Priest. He's going to be out there. They're always out there. But I think Finn Balor still walks out with the World Heavyweight Champion and then ends up losing it to Cody Rhodes down the line.
All right, Rod, your boy.
First of all, you two suck. All right. That's the first thing I want to say. You guys both are absolutely terrible. How dare you pick against my guy? I do suppose I picked against Chris's guy earlier this podcast, so I suppose it's only fair. But Jimmy, I haven't made any Gargano shots in a long time. Haven't made fun of Kevin Owens in quite a while. I mean, I don't understand why you're out against me. But here's my thoughts on this, okay? I am going to pick my guy, and I'm going to hold on tightly to the hope that my guy, Seth Rollins, still has a belt around his waist when he shows up to fight whoever they want him to fight on October 7th at Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana, because I have tickets along with Jimmy to be at that show, and I want nothing more than to be able to stand up and hold my arms in the air in exultation and sing my guy's song. The last live event I saw was SmackDown, and as much fun as we just made about the brand split, it was in effect that night because my guy Seth Rollins only wrestles on Raw, and he sure as shit didn't show up on SmackDown that night. So I want to see my guy with the belt, so I'm not going to pick against him again. Seth Rollins wins.
I really hope that comes true for your sake, Rod, because that would be awesome to be able to see your boy with gold around his waist live.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. Nice thought, though. Main event, Tribal Rules. Jey Uso, Roman Reigns for the undisputed Universal Heavyweight Championship. The one with the 3 belts. It's the 3-belt one. That one. Roman Reigns is walking out with this title. All 3 of them. It's going to be a match that is going to see some very close near falls. That they're going to make believe that they're going to do it with Uso, but he's not going to win it. It's going to be Roman Reigns, Chris King.
Yeah, the Roman's going to come out with the belts. I think you guys have convinced me that he is going to keep them at least until next year at WrestleMania. I think it's kind of ridiculous, but I don't see them giving them to Jake just yet. Maybe in the future, but not yet. I do imagine that we'll see Solo get a super kick to the chin at some point during this match because he'll be around, and a lot of near falls, a lot of great wrestling, but it's going to be Roman walking away with the belts, the one with the 3 belts.
Rod, you got your takes, you've got your thoughts. Are you daring enough to say Jey Uso is going to break Roman Reigns' streak and become the new undisputed Universal Heavyweight Champion?
I knew I said I was in a race to the bottom, but I am not going to pick against Roman Reigns here. But what I am going to do is attempt to score bonus points by absolutely calling my shot here. All right, here's how Jey Uso loses this match. Oh my God, is that Jimmy Uso? And Jimmy comes in attempting to give a super kick to Solo and or Roman Reigns, and oh my God, no, he's hit Jey, and Jey Uso loses to Roman Reigns that way.
Yeah, something has to happen where Roman wins it kind of nefariously because Roman Reigns can't get a clean win, right? So that is going to be SummerSlam. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a pretty good show. Rod, anything else you'd like to chat about before we exit here tonight?
No, I just want to alert everybody that if they only listening to our wrestling shows, we appreciate that. But check in on our football show, Balls and Brew. We got some pre-season predictions for you from our handicapper, Josh Williams. He's pretty good at what he does, much the same way Jimmy is good at what he does here with wrestling. And if you're a 90s kid like all of us, except, of course, the old man, he was like 65 by the time the 90s rolled around, but he still likes some of the music. We figured out the best 90s rock band in bracket form. You're sure to agree with every selection we made. So check in on that if you would. And we would appreciate that. Lots of other pods are taking time off this time of year. Not us. We're churning out 3 for you in a week. That's how hard Jimmy's working. I appreciate you, my man.
Goodbye, net. Yeah.